So I'm just going to walk you through a typical inspection, you know, in the springtime and summertime, and things that I like to do. So I split the hive. I took the super off, set it aside. I had no queen excluder on that, so there may be some eggs and larvae up top if she had to borrow some space up there, and that's kind of why I don't use a queen excluder. I would rather her go up in that super if she needs the space and have one cycle of brood on some of the frames than to have the hive swarm out. I believe supers to be part of swarm management. So I pulled the top box off with the honey super, and now I'm going to inspect the bottom box. I have set up my boxes. This is strictly for organization, and I'm going to kind of determine what goes in the bottom, what goes in the top, because I am going to manipulate these hives a little bit. And when I say manipulate, what I like to do is capped brood I like to put up top. I consider capped brood the next best thing to space. It's gonna hatch out, or emerge rather, and she's going to have a place to lay, and she'll backfill that. As the brood emerges, she gets to lay eggs. This frame is completely empty. This is definitely an up top frame. This is empty. This is up top. You know, just moving these frames up top and giving her room, that might be that last ingredient that may have, you know, suppressed that swarm tendency. This is going to stay down because it's like it's a pollen frame. These bees are really not happy. If you get stung, smoke the area a little bit. Get that alarm pheromone, you know, masked. I'm just gonna get lit up here, and there's nothing I can do about it, so I just accept it. There's all eggs on this frame. There's some capped brood, but there's a lot of eggs in there, so that's gonna stay down. Eggs, open, wet larvae, those are candidates for staying down below. This is capped brood on one side and a completely open frame, empty on the other. There's some open larvae there. This is going to go up top. There's a lot of laying real estate there for her. This is all very young larvae. That's staying down. If you're having trouble seeing like eggs or larvae in a frame, get that sun behind you coming over your shoulder. That's usually a pretty good way to see if there's eggs in a frame. Even if it's a cloudy day and there's no sun, get where the sun would be and just get the most natural light over your shoulder. Okay, so I have harvested out 3 really good frames for up top. Now we're going to go to the top box, which I have over here. I'm not going into too much, you know, detail on what stuff looks like. I'm assuming everybody knows what cat brood and everything looks like. This hive, this box is really, really calm in comparison to this demon spawn over here. So I have a feeling the queen is in this box. I mean, I think I just got stung like a half a dozen times just doing that bottom box. Now, any frame that comes out of here that I declare, you know, that I feel will be a good candidate to go in the bottom, I'm just going to go ahead and put it right in the bottom. This is stores. Right there, put a little bit of pollen and some nectar. And that's typical. Honey on the outside, you know, and then pollen would be like that next frame in, typically. This hive has plenty of room for them to lay in. Oh, this has all eggs. I'm not even going to bother trying to show you this on the camera. So this whole frame is eggs. So there's no point in having that waste space up top. That'll make room for those awesome frames that I had. This is already cat brood. And I'm not even looking for a queen. I saw eggs, so I don't need to look for a queen. I'm not, you know, pulling the queen. No need to find her. Even if I accidentally squish her, I know that there's eggs and viable resources, or resources to make a viable queen cell. This is all open larvae and eggs. That's going to be a bottom frame. Oh, this bottom box is really just a bunch of jerks. Golly. Just got stung 2 more times. This is all open larva. And that's done. See what a difference this box is compared to that? I mean, you hear all that. That's from that bottom box. This hive is just, the top part rather, the upper box is just so nice compared to that bottom box. I'm just going to do a quick inspect. All that cat brood. This is nice. Cat brood. This last one's open nectar, pollen, and one side, and capped honey and a little bit of nectar on the outside. So we're going to do that. This capped brood will go next. I'm going to try to put those 3 choice frames that I got over here in the center. Remember that they don't like overhead pressure. That's why I pull undrawn comb and capped brood from the bottom and move it up and take any open larva and eggs and move it down. And the last frame is resources, and that goes on this side. I'm not going crazy with this hive. I saw everything I needed to see, and I didn't see any swarm cells, and my patience is thin. You know, it's just about run out with this box too. So I saw what I needed to see, I did what I needed to do, and I want to button this hive up and call it a day on this hive. Actually, there is one other thing I want to check. I do want to go through that super. We're not going to get it on video. I just want to see how bad she's laying up that super. You know, I don't think it's a whole lot, if at all. But so that is what I will be doing off camera. I'll just be checking to see what's going on up there, just to gather some info.